for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, welcome. I'm Speculator Seth. This is Day Trading, only live stream where we trade live off of the DOM, show you everything. We're not just looking at charts and yapping. Actual trading, hoping to trade today, actually. I mean, we got an interesting setup. I don't know how I feel about this area. So let me show you what I mean. Big unexpected move. I mean, yesterday, let's show you the treasuries first. Yesterday, we had this move up. It was a treasury auction. We tend to move up on the treasury auction, and it was extremely thick, and we just saw the craziest battle up here at 129.05 area. Really exciting. I really enjoyed that action. Eventually, we pushed higher. Now, overnight, we've pushed lower, and we've actually pushed lower than the fifth. So we're kind of pushing like a longer term levels now. I can see like down here 128.15.5, for instance. Maybe, well, yeah, like that's the only real key level that I can even see down below us. That's just how far we've gone. So we're kind of pushing, kind of in trending zone, and this makes it extremely difficult to know how far it can go. Now, the reason that we're down in the treasuries is because China has been saying, "Oh yeah, like we should have a trade deal." It's just like, you know, you got to take some tariffs off. Like we have to both take some tariffs off, like equal amounts. Not everything though. Sounded conciliatory to me. So then, of course, the E-mini up big new high, and we may be opening up at a new high. Again, in the E-mini, can you believe it? I mean, I can believe it. It's not surprising to me. This whole trade war thing has really been holding the economy back, and if it gets out of the way, this thing could just come rearing up, but it seems like the street did not expect this move. And so, we are kind of in an interesting spot, but that's basically where we're at. I come back over to here. So, tactically speaking, you know, there's some opportunity here. Here's the open. There's not a ton of volume on the open, though. Okay. Let me come over here. We do have some news at the bottom of the hour, so we're going to have the unemployment claims like we do every week. And there's a 30-year bond auction today. So I'm wondering, are we going to see the same kind of behavior that we saw yesterday in the 10-year, but we might see some of that in the 30-year. That sure would be interesting to me. But it's hard to predict. The other thing is that if we're just going to keep trending down, and I don't know if it is. I mean, look, we are buying up. Well, not a whole lot. It looks like they're just ranging. But you know, if it is a sell, it's always hard to find the right spot. You know what I mean? You guys know that story, right? So we're gonna have to watch it carefully, because often the spot that it gives you is like it just kind of peters out, you know. So IQ says good morning. Hey, thank you, IQ dedicated listener. Hey, oh wait, let's turn the robot on here, huh? Is it going? Okay, it's going. There we go. Now we should get all of that. And just make sure that I've got my Twitter pulled up, you know, in case Donald Trump says something crazy or something. Oh, he is tweeting. He tweeted an hour ago, Bill Barr did not decline my request to talk about Ukraine. The story was a fake Washington Post con job with an anonymous source that does not exist. Just read the transcript. The Justice Department already ruled that the call was good. We don't have freedom of the press. It's interesting to me that he turns that one into an attack on the press, but whatever. He is right, though. He is pointing out an important observation. Can we call that an observation? But it's something that I haven't really seen mentioned very much, which is that the Justice Department looked at what happened and said that it was fine. So, like, whatever. See, here's where you would 25, maybe 25 half. I could see 25 half. But can you really take it here? I don't know. New York Fed term repo op fully subscribed. 35 billion injected into the system, says Zero Hedge. Let's see if I got everything going on here, right? I do. I like this interface that they got for live streaming on YouTube, but it's not perfect. There's some problems with it, folks. It doesn't like half of a screen for starters, which irks me. Do it like that. There we go. But I do like that it shows me analytics, viewer activity, and so forth. Stream is healthy. Yes, I upped my bitrate, so that should help a little bit. And the stinger, I had a problem with the stinger. I think I fixed the stinger. Well, sure feeling like, ooh, I wish I had taken 25 there, huh? She's going down.
IQ says when ZB goes above 157 to 25, I will be a buyer.
A buyer? Do you really think it's going to get up there? I don't know, man. It kind of looks like, oh, by the way, oh no, we're okay. My water bottle covers up part of my screen, so I can't see, like, my mixer. Man, they're just going. They want me to FOMO in here. They want me to FOMO in. If it goes, I think we have to say that we just missed it, you know? But that's 3 ticks. They might make the 4th tick a little harder. Let's see. I do think, well, and also we got news in 5 minutes, right? I don't really want to take a trade before the news, but here.
IQ says overnight push equals 50T.
Oh, okay, sure. You're saying there needs to be a little bit of a pullback, right?
IQ says ZB.
Yeah. It was a really big move, but I mean, the news justifies it. Well, let's see here, though. If it pulled back, I could see 128.30 in the 10-year. And on ZB, it would be more 157.29. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on this news, huh? Although I don't know if jobless claims, is that really a big deal? I don't know. Guys.
Uzi Knesset says morning.
Good morning, Uzi. Did you fix your neighbor's plumbing finally? Finally. I don't know if did it take a long time. You can kind of see everybody popping in. Well, they're almost right back up to 25. See, in this kind of action, you can just get the 4 ticks, but I think what you're going to see happen here is...
Uzi Knesset says yeah, did it remotely too lol. Turns out instructing someone on fixing a toilet over text messages is less difficult than tech support lol.
Oh, really? Really? I would not expect that. You ever done this thing where it's like you have to, like, you're doing it over text and they're like taking a picture of it, and then you're telling them what to do based on the picture. Technology these days, or you could just do a video call. I remember when I was a kid, because my dad, he worked for NCR, which at the time was a subsidiary of AT&T. So they
Uzi
were
Knesset
all.
says that's exactly what happened, haha.
That's exactly what happened. So they were all showing like, here's what the next generation of technology is going to be. So I remember when it was like, this must have been like 1995, and they're like, oh yeah, everybody will have internet, and we'll have video phones, video phone calling. But it was like a phone in the house that you would go to, and it would do a video call. And I thought that was so dumb. I was like, I'm not gonna, like, I just want to talk to them. I don't care if I see them, and I'm not gonna pay for some expensive device to do video calling. But then, of course, cell phones came along. They totally
IQ
predicted
says a
it.
range of 23 to 14 breakout equals direction ZB.
Mm,
Wimmer Kevin says morning, at least in the ASLAL, finding it interesting that in the Amini all the new all-time highs are during the overnight, especially Europe. The US range is really small the last days.
exactly, right? Uh, well, it's been a lot tighter during the day session. The thing is it's like the day traders are incredibly uneasy with this rally. But here's the thing, just remember, and I was tweeting this on I put this on my Facebook and my Twitter. You're not following me on Facebook or Twitter. I appreciate the follow, because I do try and put a bunch of stuff out, and then I think we need to build up our Facebook presence. We might start a Facebook group here in a couple of weeks. We'll see. But remember, okay, skepticism drives rallies.
IQ says what's your take on ZB Uzi?
And it'd be interesting to see. I mean, we're below the opening range, obviously, so it's probably going to be a sell. Yeah, opening range high is way up there.
Wimmer Kevin says far more volume but tighter. Yeah, do you think many US shorts are getting pissed off on Europe? Everyday
I
Euro
bet.
just buying it up face with tears of joy.
Well, can you imagine if any of those guys that were going long the treasuries yesterday, if any of those guys stayed in overnight, they're pissed right now. Okay, so here comes the news. Let's see here. What are we looking for? We're looking for Thursday unemployment claims 215K. 215 comes a number, not a huge reaction. A little bit
Uzi
light on the
Knesset says same boat as
liquidity.
you. Above that 25 I'd be a cautious buyer. Ultimately I'd look at 58.14 to cap off an intraday rally.
Okay, so claims was 211K versus 215K estimate. And they're just kind of sitting here. So now we might have to just watch it wander around for a bit before they peter out and it's clear which direction is stronger. Because I hear you guys on that there could be a pullback for sure. I mean, in this particular spot, there could totally be a pullback, but there's not a reason to buy, so it could continue through as well. You have to remember that a lot of this area that we've been hanging out at so high is a little like back in June and August, okay, when we were below, what's the low here, 128.16 or so, below 128.16, that was high. Remember when that was high? So it's not like that little pivot down there, although it's still quite a ways away, I think that they might want to tag it. Seeing some statistics from the elections in Virginia, and they were pointing out that there weren't very many Hispanic voters there. But even if you remove all of the Hispanic voters, he still loses. So even without the demographics, he was not doing very well in Virginia. Well, I don't know if he's going to win Virginia this time around. I think probably Virginia is a lost cause. Even, honestly, Pennsylvania might be a lost cause. He's going to have to pick it up in other spots. But they have plans on where they're going to pick him up. But none of you are looking to sell it here, huh? Nobody going, hey, there could be new lows, huh? Hmm.
Uzi Knesset says still taken aback by Virginia re-electing Governor Blackface.
Right. That is a good point, Uzi. When that came out, just based on the political climate at the time, I thought that a politician being caught doing blackface was going to be like, that would be the end of them. I really thought that would be the end of them. And now we've had two guys, both of the guys that prominently were caught doing that, and voters did not care. I suppose voters probably shouldn't
Uzi
care.
Knesset says those rules only apply to certain political persuasions, I guess. If y'all want to do blackface for Halloween, just make sure you register as a Democrat beforehand.
Oh, for sure. If it was a Republican, then they would make a big deal out of it. But here's the thing: I don't know if even if it was a Republican, if a lot of people are actually deciding their vote based off of that. It's just kind of like, I think that voters understand that there were certain things that were appropriate 30 years ago that are clearly not culturally appropriate anymore. Alligator says, well, I've succumbed. I believe that means that he sold it down here. Andrew Still, this is a graph of what people think will help with climate change versus the actual impacts. Oh my. No more plastic bags, and they think 22% of it will help, and it's actually highly overestimated. One flight less per year is about the same as no meat consumption. Well, that's interesting. Modern heating and insulation makes a big difference too. Well, there you go. Bloomberg, White House reporter urging caution on reports China and U.S. have agreed a tariff rollback deal. Risk sentiment got a big lift on the initial report a few hours ago. Be careful. Be careful of any American denial. And then retweeting Josh Wingrove, China's claiming that it and the U.S. have agreed to some kind of tariff rollback if a trade deal is finalized. That has, to put it lightly, not been confirmed by the U.S. I'm going to highlight that one. Is China playing games with us, guys? That's curious. Because here's the thing. When I woke up this morning and I looked at the chart and it was up, I was like, whoa, what happened? So I go on a CNBC and they say, okay, there's a trade deal. Or optimism on a trade deal. And, okay, so what is the optimism? They're saying that they need to both
Wimmer
pull off
Kevin
tariffs.
says, is anyone here confident in swing trading? I would be scared every time I go to sleep. It is almost in daily occasion that there is some tweet which makes a huge move in one direction.
I would love to swing trade, but I don't think I could keep them open overnight, man.
Uzi Knesset says at IQ, I don't have any clear downside targets in ZB, so if she sells hard, I have no clue where it can go, lol.
Well, the one that I would be looking at is 128.16 in the 10-year. That one is a very clear spot on the chart, and there's some big orders down there. So Mm. Anyways,
Uzi Knesset says yeah clear for you dingles with full books lol.
anyways, so the thing is that they said, okay, we'll take off some tariffs. If you put off some tariffs, then there needs to be some reciprocation. And I'm thinking, well, okay, that's a little bit more conciliatory of a tone. That is like, okay, we actually are trying to work something out. Yeah? Because my thinking so far has been, is China just messing with us? Are they just stalling and they want a reprieve because they're like just dying right now? But even though they don't really actually plan on giving up on the things that actually matter, like forced technology transfers, intellectual property rights, and all of the other things that they're doing. Okay, currency manipulation. Um, okay, well, if they're saying we'll do this, then maybe. But now, this thing coming out from Trading Floor Audio, Bloomberg White House reporter urging caution on reports China and U.S. have agreed a tariff
Wimmer
rollback
Kevin
deal.
says I guess the only thing I would consider would be after I'm in a big winning trade, moving the stop to break even and just hope for the best while I'm sleeping.
Oh, totally. Well, that's the way you got to do it with a swing trade for sure.
Wimmer Kevin says maybe China is stalling because they think Trump will get impeached.
Sure. Or they think that he'll lose the election. Listen, the chances of Donald Trump getting impeached are extremely low. Based on, like, here's the thing. The Democrats have already done all of their questioning of like big witnesses as far as I can tell. They're now going to be moving it to more public stuff. But why do they have to do that? It's because it's all for show, right? The whole thing is about you've got to get the voters on board with it. If a majority of the voters are in favor of impeachment, then if you're a Republican, then you're starting to think, well, maybe I have to. Maybe I have to vote for impeachment, right? And so far, that hasn't happened. Opinions on the matter are only getting tighter. So the Democrats are going through this big show to try and influence the public opinion. The problem is that most of the, like we understand what happened pretty well now. And I just don't think that the Republicans are going to go for it. And just right now, the Republicans are saying that they're just not going to go for it. So Donald Trump being impeached, extremely unlikely. So now at this point, I think Democrats are actually starting to acknowledge this. So now they're thinking, well, Republicans will acquit him, but we can do as much damage as we can, and it could still hurt him in the election. That's what they're thinking right now. And China might be thinking the same thing. They might think, well, maybe we will get Comrade Warren, So maybe they think that, but I think overall they just probably think that they can stall like they've always done.
Uzi Knesset says and Hillary is the backup plan.
Hillary is the backup plan. You really think that Hillary is going to jump in, don't you? I would be so surprised if Hillary Clinton jumped into the race.
Uzi Knesset says damage Trump's chances with impeachment inquiry. When it falls apart in the Senate, drop a Hillary run.
Yeah, right. Well, I really kind of wonder if they take this to the Senate, if the Republicans rip this apart. Because if the Republicans rip it apart and public perception starts to go the Republicans' way, then yeah, Democrats are in big trouble. And there is no way that they're going to win with an Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders in those circumstances,
Wimmer Kevin says okay, let's say a Democrat would win the election. Which one would be your preferred choice? If you don't like anyone, then think like this. Which one is the lesser ever lol?
Pete. If I had to vote for a Democrat, I think that their best option, I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased because I have money on him, but I think that their best person is Pete. I actually, at one time, I thought that, if I had to vote myself.
Wimmer Kevin says asterisk evil.
Evil. At one point, I thought, I really like Tulsi. She seems like a really level-headed, thoughtful person.
Winstanza Mom says good morning, speculator Seth Wimmer Kevin and the 14 watching now. Please hit like whether you want Hillary to enter the race again or not.
Yeah, well, I thought that Tulsi would be like a good president, but then there was that huge tirade about how, oh, Hillary, you're the one that's been holding me back and all of this stuff. That tweet, man, that was crazy. You guys remember that was like the biggest thing that Friday, but then everybody forgot about it the next week. But I thought it was completely out of character. I still wonder if she actually wrote it or if it was like a campaign person that wrote it, because it just seems so uncharacteristic of her. But that one tweet was like, maybe she's not really like that. But so from my perspective right now, Pete, he seems like a smart guy. He seems like a thoughtful person. I think that even though he's like a far left loony, I think that he would kind of be a little bit more like Barack Obama in that he would be able to say to the left when they want their really crazy leftist things like, this is a dumb idea.
Wimmer Kevin says at Winstanza Mom, you really want a foreign country, Germany, to interfere in the election? Grinning face.
This is, okay, wait. I have something to show you guys, something that I discovered yesterday. This is good. You're going to enjoy this. I wanted to do some programming based off of this, but I didn't have enough time. Maybe a weekend project, okay? So we're doing the Google text-to-speech stuff, right? And I found the best way, if you watch the stinger, actually, I'm going to show you this. IQ says election or erection. Okay? Tell me if it sounds okay, because yesterday it didn't sound right and I fixed it. So here I fixed it up. Here's what it does now.
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. There you go. So I added the little, the text-to-speech voice saying the thing, and I was able to get her to say it in the way that I wanted, or at least close to it, right? Let's see here.
Winstanza Mom says I thought that tweet was also out of character. She of all people should know better.
Right? It's so weird.
Kevin, lol, our politics are touchy here and I have to be careful because I have concerns. Winstanza Mom says that sounds professional, good job, sexy robot voice and speculators with sidekick. Uzi Knesset says come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all, should be fun, yup. That's how it is, lol.
You know what day that was from? That was from the December FOMC meeting. Remember, and Powell started talking and the market just absolutely threw a complete fit and I did really, really good that day. That was the day that came from. Okay, so wait, let's read. Let's see if this sounds right. Hope I have to tell it I'm not a robot.
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. That is the only reason I am here. Lol.
Okay, so anyways, I was like, maybe we should use a different voice, is what I was thinking. So I decided to try the British voices again, right? So I liked British voices C.
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
That should be not necessarily indicative. Anyways, okay. So the British one, she sounds okay, right? Well, then I thought, hey, I wonder what happens if you try and reading it in a foreign language. Huh? So let's do German for Kevin here, all right?
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors.
Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
Huh? I really like. I kind of thought about using that one, to be honest. I just think it sounds so sexy. I don't know what it is, the German accent.
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable
IQ
for all
says do it in
investors.
Afrikaans.
Past performance
Uzi
is not
Knesset says
necessarily
that's still
indicative
English
of
though,
future
lol.
results.
I don't think that they have Afrikaans in here. That would be interesting, though. That's still English, though. Yeah, what they're doing is...
Winstanza mom says she needs practice. Her British sounds fake. Maybe sexy robot voice speaks pig Latin. Oat na ui table saw or fa investors a. Pig Latin.
That's pretty good. She says that pretty good. Yeah, no, it's reading the words with the German pronunciation of the letters. So even though it's English, so some of them sound better than others. Some of them are like almost incoherent. Okay, like Japan. No, that's not it. It's that's Japan. Yes. Here, listen. Japan is really crazy, right?
デリバティブトレーディングインボルブスサブスタンシャルリスクオブロス and is not 数テーブル for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative
Wimmer
of
Kevin
future
says derivate
results.
is pretty close to the word in German.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Because I really like the way
Uzi
that she says
Knesset
it.
says oof.
Okay. But this wasn't the thing that I wanted to show you.
Winstanza mom says
we're
if she
getting there.
sounds Europeans, then new viewers may think you have an inside late night track. Japanese sexy robot voice origato.
What I was being told, I tell you what, guys, I'm starting, I'm ADHD and I'm starting to become hyper focused on the stream. Because here's the thing, they unblocked Twitch at work. So I've been listening to people on Twitch while I've been working at work. And there's a couple of guys. I think my favorite guy is Devin Nash, and he's really
Wimmer
good
Kevin
at...
says haha Japanese
That's
is the
great,
best
right?
voice.
And he's really good at the business side of things. That's what he does. Is he's like he's marketing and business and gaming and Twitch and streaming and stuff. So I've been learning a lot. I've been getting ideas. I've been looking at it. That's why I changed a couple of things about the stream, even though nobody else is doing it, and I didn't get any of these suggestions from them. But I just kind of realized, you know what, the way that streaming works on YouTube is a little bit different. A lot of the viewers that are going to come in they've never seen this before. So I need to have stuff at the beginning so that they know what's going on right from the beginning, and they don't have this big long wait at the beginning that they skip. It needs to be something that, immediately they go, okay, this is serious stuff. That's, they do the readout. This is serious stuff. And then, oh, hey, they're really trading, and they got the, the let's go kind of attitude to it. Anyways, or was I going? Oh yeah, so I've just been like completely obsessed with it. And one of the things that I learned is that one of the best times to stream is in the morning, because you get both of the European and the US viewers. And we do have a lot of European viewers. We got Kevin, he's from Germany, right?
Winstanza mom says can't resist the MBTI reference because MBTI was developed for business.
Yeah.
Seth NTP, guy good at business, STP.lol.
Yeah, so here's a maybe something you can do. Go find this guy. His name is Devin Nash. He has a YouTube channel, but he streams every day. And tell me what is his MBTI. So I have a friend here in Utah that is like the exact mirror image of, they look the same, they talk the same. It's really weird. And I don't know where they would fit in that.
Winstanza mom says Davin Nash be right back.
But hold on a second, because I didn't show you the thing that I wanted to show you. Okay, so Japan is pretty great, right? But my favorite one is this one right here, Russian. I think that's Russian.
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
Winstanza mom says it's not hard to divide people immediately into quadras or the four temperaments first. Listening now. Michael XC says Ukrainian.
Is that Ukrainian? I think that just sounds so great. Wait, is this one maybe Russian?
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of losses and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
Yeah, that is.
Michael XC says yes.
So it's
Wimmer Kevin
Ukrainian,
says, do you have Italian mafia accent?
not Italian mafia, but there is Italian. Where is Italia?
Derivative trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily
not bad.
indicative of future results.
But I thought that the Ukrainian accent was just so great. The way that
Derivatives
the
trading
inflection
involves
goes up at the
substantial
end.
risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors.
Sizable?
Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
Of future results. So then I got thinking, I'm like, you know what this reminds me of is that whole thing, like, people are Russian bots, What's the big thing with Russian bots right now, right?
Winston's mom says my niece was adopted from Ukraine. She was a baby in one of those beds in a
himself.
warehouse, and she refused to speak the language once she found her mom, beautiful girl and a bit special, maybe.
So here's this one.
Epstein did not kill himself.
Right? It's great. I think this should be a thing. I think that this is the voice of Russian bots right there, even though it's Ukrainian, which just kind of makes it even more funny and ironic, doesn't it? But yeah, I really like
Wimmer
that.
Kevin says sounds convincing.
She sounds convincing, right? She
Epstein
knows.
did not kill himself.
See? She knows what happened, guys. She knows what happened, and she knows that he did not kill himself. Right? That sounds like
Epstein did not kill himself.
that sounds like she's got the inside track. You know what I mean? Oh man. But I think what we're gonna do is I'll make it so that if you do like an exclamation point and then the name of the voice, that it will read it out in the different voice.
Winston's mom says time for business, an hour for fun. Tsar Alexis of Russia.
I think that's what we should do. Because I just thought that sounds so great. I was really tempted, honestly, to do it in one of the voices, like the German one. I'm not gonna lie. Let me go back. This one. The German one, man. Where is it? Deutsch.
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
I just like that. That
Wimmer
is a
Kevin says
sexy
your intro
robot.
should be just Epstein did not kill himself. The other part about losses is clearly unnecessary.
I wish. I really thought about maybe using the German voice though. I just think that that's such a sexy voice. But then I thought, but you know what? Like, we've been using the Google voice, and
Winston's mom
she's like,
says Devin Nash most likely ESTP think fast talk smart people they do not like control or commitment. They lead with T or accuracy.
okay. We'll go look that up later. But then I thought about using them or using a British lady, but then I thought, but you know what? The voice is like a character on the stream, and we should introduce her right from the beginning, because the robot voice is great, right, guys? That's one of the funnest parts. We've had so much fun with that. But then I was thinking, but you know what? The other one is like, you guys are like it. In fact, I honestly feel like
Ace Trade says Mooring.
Hey, there's Ace. How's it going? Yeah, I honestly feel like the chat is a bigger reason to watch the stream than me.
Ace Trade says morning. Winston's mom says it's hard to type someone by simply observing them for a minute, but I specialize in STPs after being married to one for so long. Very good business skills, very good people skills sensors.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he has good people
Wimmer
skills.
Kevin says the German voice always reminds me how bad our pronunciation is. Mine included lol. Winston's mom says good morning. Ace Trades, we are listening to sexy robot voice speak different languages.
I shouldn't have closed it so that he could listen to the Russian bot. Well, you can watch it on replay. Well, we're gonna fix it up so that you can do them, and then you guys can all send messages in Russian bot voice. It'll be fun. No, but I was just, when I was going through all of that. So like in the intro, it's got the robot voice, And then, well, here, let's play it again. Right? I got this.
Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is, this is my favorite part. You buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Ace Trade says short signal at 30,885.75. Winstanzamom says someone has hit dislike. There are people who love to wander around YouTube hitting dislike for no reason at all.
You know what? It's okay. If you don't like this video, dislike it. Please. I absolutely 100%. Because we still get engagement from it. So and all it does is, well, I mean, it actually does make it so that you personally will see less content like that, which is okay. But it increases the engagement for everybody else. Leaning on downside risk, ES back in range, says Alligator. I feel like, yeah, I don't know.
Ace Trade says 3,085.75 if it hits, looks like it's pushing up still.
It looks like it's pushing up still. I don't know if... Like, here's the thing. The E-mini is up so high. And it's really hard for me to sell the E-mini after the news that they're getting. But I'm still a little skeptical about it, especially after some of the things that I'm seeing on Twitter where they're saying that the Americans are not necessarily saying the same thing that the Chinese are. That kind of concerns me. I'd try the Spanish one. I'd have to, well, let me try and pull it up again. Oh boy, somebody fall over out there?
Wimmer Kevin says honestly the Japanese voice was the best. Couldn't take her seriously and had to laugh. Winstanzamom says sexy robot voice say canas henradas no hey puertas cerradas.
So what is that? Copy that. Español, España.
Canas honradas no hay puertas cerradas.
I think you want Español, Mexico. Yeah? Oh, I guess that they don't have it. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. No, I'll just mute it. I'll just minimize it. This time it's closing. Anyways, what was I going back to? Oh yeah, so I showed you guys a singer.
Winstanzamom says al árbol por el fruto es conocido.
But I feel like the thing that's still missing is you guys. Like, because I think that the chat is like the real star here. I'm an okay trader, but I think that a lot of the other guys here, I really strongly feel are way better traders than myself. And the only reason that I've been able to get as far as I have, and I still think that I have a lot to go, but I've only gotten as far as I have because of you guys, Ace, Uzi, really, everyone, and I really appreciate those of you guys that are just here every day. Kevin, Win has really helped grow the channel past 2 months, 3 months that we've been around. IQ has been around forever.
Winstanzamom says the chat is fun and you gentlemen are interesting, nice, smart people.
Thank you. I think IQ, it's been like over a year, 2 years. Alligator too, even though he doesn't necessarily watch the stream, but he's always there in Discord, and he's been a big help too. I tell you what, guys, if you don't check out the Discord every once in a while, I'd highly recommend that because there's some really good commentary in there, especially when we're not live. And Alligator in particular really knows this stuff. He's been doing this much longer than me. Anyways, I feel like that you guys are part of the start, and so I'm trying to think of like, okay, how can we highlight that? I think what we need to do is we need to come up with a name for the chat. So like, instead of just calling it "you guys in chat," you know what I mean? So I was watching.
Alarid says I'm good when I win.
There you go, right? This is kind of me too. When I'm doing good, I look pretty good, but then you get into that one market that is just not my market, and it looks awful, right? Here they're pushing a little bit too hard there, and look how many orders actually bought into that. Now that is curious. They didn't believe it at all. They didn't believe it.
Ace Trade says, yeah, get off the table. Looks like pushing up this morning.
Get off the table. Something's up. That downtick, incredibly weird. Not to, I know, maybe I'm overreacting, but that one was a little weird. But they've bought 2,000 into it, and it completely held. So somebody must think that they want to sell it.
Ace Trade says should have gone long at 3,086.00.
Anyways, so I was watching another stream. What was it? The stock guy. Now he's interesting.
Winstan's mom says now speculator Seth, some of the late night channels, the kids from my perspective, have raw rooms and they Discord in those. I once had an invitation and the magic word 60 shut that down. Lol.
Right, Discord. Well, we almost never use the voice chat, right? But just the text chat is great. Anyways, on this guy's stream, I like him, but it's not really the same thing. Like they're talking about finance, but really they're just looking at charts on TradingView. But they're not like actively trading.
IQ says big selling at 16 ZB. Wimmer Kevin says the best days are when you are in flow with the market. You know what it is gonna do beforehand, it is clear and easy to read. On the other hand, the worst days are the ones I have no idea what's going.
Really?
Wimmer Kevin says on those I mostly stay flat.
Yeah, I think I've been doing better because on those days where I don't know what's going on, I've been staying out. Like right now, I distract myself and I've just been taking a lot less trades, and I think it's been a lot better for me. But the ones where I get really screwed up is when it seems like it's really clear that it's a buy to me, and then they just sell it and sell it and sell it, you know? When I'm off the sync. Anyways, on their channel, when you subscribe to their channel, it says welcome to the Bear Gang. I don't think that you guys are the Bear Gang, but I think that that's kind of the sort of thing that we should go for. Like we should come up with a name for the chat, and then we could make like stuff, because seriously, you guys like deserve more recognition than you get. You're here every day. You're way more the success that we've had here on the stream has way more to do with you guys than myself. One of the things watching all these people on Twitch is I'm like,
mom
I'm
says
not
positive
that
psychology, a flow state, also known as being in the zone, is the mental state of operation in which a person performing is.
There it goes. Interesting. But look, he's absorbing it. They took it off at 22 and 21 half. And that was before the low. But he just clicks it through. I'm not actually
Kevin
getting
says like for instance today in crude, after the news this morning it was clear to me that it was gonna go for a new high after consolidation.
Wait, let's look at that.
Winstan's mom says fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus, full involvement, and enjoyment in the process of the activity. Seth, people are eager to engage. I like the idea of a good name for your clubhouse.
Yeah. I think this has got to be something that everybody can be like in on and can identify with. And then we could get some stuff like maybe we could find a place that has
Luis
really cheap
Alarid
merchandise.
says welcome to the winners and losers room, a room for all traders.
The winners and losers. You know, like we could get like mugs, you know, because you guys are here every day.
Winstanza
Like,
Mom
it's a big
says
part.
free money for everybody.
It's a big part of our lives, and I think that we should have some way to express it. You know what I mean? So this action here is really fishy. He really shoved it down there, didn't he? And he bought a lot. And now I'm not getting a signal, but I think that you reverse that one. Because he pushed it down way too aggressively for no reason, and they absorbed, and they didn't believe that 22.5. It was like they bought in the 22.5, and he was like, oh really? I'm going to stop you out now. Well, market's synced for risk on. The tape is a bit dubious, so let's see if it breaks decisively.
Winstanza Mom says absolutely. Host Eric sells talking with famous people shirts. Flow State has mugs and shirts for his channel. Tasty Trade sells merchandise. Look at the television shows, they are big with the mugs.
Yeah. I mean, I never, before I had thought, well, we could do merchandise, but like, who wants to walk around with speculator stuff on their shirt? That's stupid, right? And not only that, but I was like, well, that would be a way to make money, but you don't make a whole lot of money with merchandise. But then I thought, but then when I put it from this perspective, it's like, no, this is like a, you know, a nice thing for the viewers to acknowledge their contribution. So we find something that's reasonably priced, and you know, we wouldn't make any money off of it, but
Ace Trade says I'm having FOMO. Tell me I shouldn't go long at 3087.00.
No, you should not go long at 3087.0. No, I'm not getting a signal right there. The last signal that I had was when we popped up there to like 89 or something like that. And that was quite a ways back. That was long before you got here. And the activity in the ES is extremely low right now. And it's not picking up going into the open. This does not look to me like they're all excited about it opening at a new high. And you might get a bit of an exhaustion gap.
Jay Constance says BTC looks bullish to me. The bears fail to dump it every time.
Yeah, well, the thing that's really weird about Bitcoin lately, well, it is down a little bit.
Uzi Knesset says the bees ain't buzzin'.
Yeah, the bees ain't buzzing. There have definitely been some pump and dump activity in the tape, hasn't there? It's kind of hard to see on this chart, but you can see these things as like they bought it up a little bit and then sold it hard and then let it come back to balance. But they weren't pushing it. It wasn't a sell like this flash crash that they had here. And I don't know what they're doing. It is coming back down, though. I mean, this whole thing right here from a technical perspective, even though technicals might not necessarily matter, this is not a positive pattern. This is an inverse bowl, right? But, I mean, look, they've come back to 9,000. They could be fine.
Jay Constance says it's going up 100%.
I don't know. I still think from a timing perspective that the buyers are going to try and make a push going into the end of the year so that they can take profits. I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Uzi Knesset says that dip though astonished face. Ace Trade says at J Constant I am sure you are right. Winstanza Mom says Ace Trades, when I hear music, I fear no danger. I am invulnerable. I see no foe. I am related to the earliest times, and to the latest, Henry David Thoreau.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's who knows. I mean, the thing is that we could sit down and I can say, oh yeah, they're definitely gonna buy before the end of the year. But then you know what? You get in it and they do that screwy thing to you again. They push it down to 7,000, and then they do the buy before the year, and you get stopped out, right? So to me, it's just like not worth playing. But I'm sure at some point that there's going to be some sort of a buy. I kind of thought
Ace
when
Trade says at Winstanzamom nice, and that was before iPods.
I guess the other thing, and then I should probably move on. But when they pushed up to 9,800, that was the kind of the buy that I thought that it was like, end of year profit taking. That was the kind of move that I expected. Was a push towards 10 to 12,000.
Wimmer Kevin says you can't get stopped out if you have no stop. Big brain time.
Yep, that's right. Just don't put the stop in, guys. Pro tip. Don't do that. Don't day trade without a stop. But the problem was it's too early. You would want to see that like in December. So
Ace
now I
Trade
don't know.
says at Wimmer Kevin I always say, it's going to eventually get back to your price.
There you go.
Jay Constance says I hope Bitcoin will dump, but I doubt it very much.
Well, on another note, did you guys check out the garlic coin yesterday? I thought, because we talked about it like last Thursday or Friday, I think, and there was a good bump, and I thought, did somebody go in and buy it? Did somebody go and buy $20 worth of garlic coin from my stream? Because it sure seemed, it was like that day we were talking about it, and there was like a big bump. Well, now yesterday, the halving has completed, and the garlic coin had a huge jump. It was like, well, I think on the day it was 100% or something, but it was at one point it was like 0.0001, and now it's 0.001. So it's like 10 times more. And the next halving will be like in a year.
Wimmer Kevin says at ACE Trades of course. I am always right and the market has to follow my ideas. So stops are clearly unnecessary and the best thing to do is to double down when moving against you.
Oh yes. Listen. People don't understand. If it's going against you, add more.
Winstanzamom says garlic
Add
coin.
more.
Speculator Seth, are you saying garlic coin? I guess this is not the coin of choice for vampires.
Yes, that is it. I'm saying
Ace Trade
garlic
says at Wimmer
coin.
Kevin absolutely. You can always win that back with the next trade.
If you have a winner, just let it ride. Let it ride. Listen, you'll hit big with that. Eventually, with that strategy, you'll hit big, but you'll also eventually lose it all. That's a lot at 21.5. I don't know, guys. It seems awfully fishy. I don't think that buying makes a lot of sense for me here, but that is awfully suspicious at 21.5. Hit big or miss big says, I feel as though it will give you a second bite. No need to be first. In my opinion, everyone feels very cautious. Alligator went long 21.5. I was thinking the same thing. I almost clicked in. I didn't do it.
Uzi Knesset says the absorbing down here in ZB is pretty heavy.
Uzi's seeing it too in the 30 year, huh? I'm not necessarily seeing it in the 5 though. I don't know. The problem that I think the along at 21.5 makes sense given all of the absorption, but the problem I have with it is that when they pushed it down, they were able to push through all of those bids really quickly and easily. So if this guy
Uzi
decides he's
Knesset
going to do
says
it
who the hell
again,
knows if it'll hold, but endless bids just flying in there lol.
right? Well, and the 22 goes bid again. It seems like a buy to me. I don't think I want to take a trade at 716, but that looked like a buy signal to me. And Alligator did buy it. What were we talking? Oh yeah, the garlic coin. Listen, it's 1C, by the way. Garlic coin. Yeah. But hey, listen, if you had listened, could have doubled your money. I'm just saying. And the next halving is in a year. Who knows? It could get back up to $1, and you can buy a lot of it right now. Like you can buy like 10,000 garlic coins.
Wimmer Kevin says Seth coin when?
Seth coin. Maybe after I become a millionaire with garlic coin, then we'll make our own cryptocurrency. I always thought, like if I made a cryptocurrency, my thought, and I think that something like this kind of exists out there, but I would make it like an investment vehicle. Like, in order for you to do something with the coin, you have to invest some of your coin in somebody else every time that you do a transaction. And then when they do a transaction, some of that money comes back to you. So it encourages you to use it, and it encourages you to invest in other wallets and saying, I think that this wallet is going to do a lot of transactions. So I want to invest in this, and then I'll make money off of that. And you know, the rules, I at one point I had a bunch of rules about how something like that could actually work, but I kind of forget now. And I don't know if I wrote it down, but that's what I think I would do. Now, Donald Trump did tweet something based on the information released last night about the fake whistleblower's attorney. The impeachment hoax should be ended immediately. There's no case except against the other side.
Its website states it was born from the shish *** posts of Reddit and baked with our special ingredient, copy paste, because its code was copied from Litecoin, itself a copy of Bitcoin.
Yep. They did change the algorithm and the properties of it and everything, but there's nothing special about it. This is why it's so great, guys. I'm telling you, it is the shittiest of shitcoins. Is absolutely the worst. There is no reason for it to exist other than to have a funny name and to have a subreddit dedicated to making posts about it. That's the only reason that it exists, and that is why it is the best cryptocurrency. You could have doubled your money. Listen, if somebody came in and bought $100 worth of garlic coin, it would be like triple its value today. And you know what? With the halvening and stuff, it's not dead. People still doing stuff with it, and eventually people are going to start making, you know, fun things like betting sites and so forth with it, I think. Absolutely. This is how we're going to do it. That's how I'm going to do it. Become a millionaire by investing in the shittiest shitcoin of ever. And the best part of it is you don't have to spend a lot. $20, $30 will get you like 20,000 garlic coins. Okay. So when garlic coin gets back up to $1, that's $20,000. And you know what? When garlic coin is at $10, and my statistics based on how many coins there are say that it can get there, then that's $100,000. And if they get to $100, that's you can make $1 million.
Wimmer Kevin says Jeffrey Epstein tried to invest in garlic coin before Warren Buffett. That's why he got suicided.
Kevin. Maybe that is. Remember, guys. Where is it? Remember, guys. Oops.
Wimmer Kevin says Detective Wimmer at work. Another case closed.
Oh, come on. It didn't work. See, we need to be able to just do the exclamation point. Remember,
Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
she knows, guys. She knows what happened. The Russian bots, they're privy. Okay, so both of these guys. Some guys in Discord did take those long and made a few ticks off of it. I am seeing some signs of exhaustion. I am seeing the long there actually did give me one. Eventually it did give us a, how come I'm getting that? Okay.
Winstanzamom says there is a subreddit for this garlic coin. Have you looked at it? What about digitalized orange? Is that a good subreddit? Sexy Russian bot voice is niet incorrect.
Niet. Yeah, I'm on the garlic coin subreddit. I check it, every other day or so. See every post. I want to know what's up with the garlic coin community. Wow, that still seems a little fishy. But the E-mini is about to go, so I'm just gonna sit it out. Republicans to subpoena Trump whistleblower to testify in public hearing. See, the problem is that the Republicans are going to ask him who told him. That's what's going to happen. And he's going to have to answer it. And then somebody's going to be in trouble. Oh, Anthony Crudelli tweeting, the best thing that happened to me when learning to become a trader was making mistakes. The mistakes I made were my greatest teacher. They helped me build my strategy, made me more motivated, grateful, and thankful to be in this business. They helped me grow as a trader and person. Wow. I don't think that when I lose that I become more motivated necessarily, but I get what he's getting.
Ace Trade says finally a point. Of course I didn't listen to you and got in long at 3087.
You did. Good job. Well, when I don't see one, it doesn't mean that it's not going to go. It just means that they're not making a major turn. There's a new low again. Well, that one didn't have nearly as much absorption on it.
Winstanzamom says, have you been following the story of Rudy and his adventures? What do you think about the shadow diplomacy being conducted behind the scenes, or do you read that differently?
So I don't think that I've been following it as closely as I should, because there does seem to be something about it, like they seem to think that Giuliani has been up to something like extremely, what is the word, unethical or something. And I don't quite understand what the big deal is. It's like he went investigating, so what?
Popularity Matters says Rudy is scamming. Michael XC says China tweet.
I see. Attitude of the Chinese side is clear.
Ace
that
Trade
the
says
two sides...
it wasn't based on good decisions, it was just FOMO, which just reinforces bad habits.
The two sides must simultaneously proportionally remove the existing additional tariffs in order to reach phase 1 deal. This is also a realistic way to de-escalate the trade war. Hope it's also attitude of the U.S. side. Hey, wait, can we get this to read it in Chinese? Here we go. And we do it with the guy, because he's a guy.
Attitude of the Chinese side is clear that the two sides must
Legacy
simultaneously proportionally remove the existing additional tariffs in order to reach phase EDEAL. This is also a
scams and violence.
Wait. Let me read your
Legacy says, do most brokers have inactivity fees for futures trading?
No.
Popularity Matters says Rudy was taking money from those two gangsters who have a history of scams and violence. Ace Trade says at Legacy all the ones I know about do.
So I'm pretty sure that AMP doesn't. I don't think that Optimus does. I know that some have started to do that because a lot of people are getting accounts and not doing anything with it. But, I don't know. What, if you make a trade every month or something? But most of them are charging you like $15 for the data, and that's where they make that up there. And they think as long as they have an account, it's better. Okay, so anyways, let's listen to this.
Realistic way to Delaware escalate the trade war. Hope it's also attitude of the U.S. side. attitude of the Chinese side is clear that the two sides must simultaneously, proportionally remove the existing additional tariffs in order to reach phase EDEAL. This is also a realistic way to Delaware escalate the trade war. Hope it's also attitude of the US side.
There we go. That's better. That's better. Yeah. So on brokers, just while I'm thinking about it, the AMP futures is always the cheapest. Okay, that's their thing. Is they're just the cheapest. Okay. Now most other brokers can get their fees down to that, but it's like really like you've really got to give them a reason to do it. Okay. So like I've been talking with Matt. By the way, I haven't heard from him today. I think we're putting another article out. And he's a good guy, and I've enjoyed talking to him. He's not going to give you quite as low of a commission, but the thing that's nice about AMP is they will like hold your hand. So like if you feel like you don't know what you're doing, you need help getting everything set up, knowing what you want to do and all of that, then Optimus Futures is a good place to go because they have a really, really helpful people over there, and they will get you figured out, right? Let's see here. Oh, yes.
Wimmer Kevin says, how is your transition to Sierra chart going? You said you were trying it out. Ace Trade says target for the day, 3082.25, at some point after the drop. Ace Trade says 2 minutes. Move to 1 tick to cover.
Yeah, I'll click the reads manually so that we don't talk over each other. How about that, okay, guys? So I got Sierra charts running and I have it doing data. I haven't tried programming anything. I don't know if I'm actually gonna like move over to Sierra charts. I primarily want to write things. I'm concerned because some of my indicators, I guess you could say, require like managing an order book, and I'm worried that they don't have anything built in for that in Sierra charts, and so I'm gonna have to do it myself. So it might take a little bit more time than I thought. I want to record some videos this weekend, and if I'm able to get those done, then I will then I'll go into programming. Still not quite sure. Actually, I have a couple of ideas. What I want to do a video about why you should trade futures, and I want to do a video about why traders lose. I think that those are both, well, one is would be really helpful to people, and one is a subject that I know that you guys love to talk about. Okay, so here's the open. They made their, I don't know.
Winstanzamam says today on The View Trump's son #1 and Kimberly Guilfoyle will be guests. I think even you, gentlemen, might enjoy that view. The ladies, especially Joy, will be ready. I wonder if they will appear.
Hold on.
Legacy says, I've personally been leaning towards NinjaTrader for the low commissions. I also work full-time, that's why I am taking the inactivity fees into account.
I got you, Legacy. So, for me, so maybe you're in a similar position to myself. So I live in the mountain time zone, and so I'm able to start trading at 6:20, and I trade for 2 hours, and then I head into work at about 8:30, so that I'm there around 9:30. And I have not been taking a trade every day. But I think that those activity fees are like, if you don't trade all month or something like that. So you're probably unlikely to run into those. And I mean, you can take a trade every day if you want. But I'm pretty sure the AMP doesn't have that. Because the AMP's thing is just to like get people in, and they're totally okay if you start an account and you're just trading it on Sim for a long time. That's why I've been telling,
Winstanza
been
Mom
sending a
says
lot of
Ace
people
Trades
there.
I counted. You put all of the Y's in Legacy's name. Did you count those one by one or copy and paste? I counted carefully and will probably be wrong. Numbers not like me.
That's interesting that she doesn't list out the Y's. You can specify what you want it to do, but there's kind of like an automatic one, and I would have thought that she would have started to read those out, but she didn't. Hit big or miss big. Who would have thought it? Get markets, all-time highs,
Ace
and
Trades
then
says at
deliver the bad
Winstanza
news.
Mom you put the @ symbol and then start typing the person's name, it shows up, hit enter and it auto-copies.
Mm-hmm. You're fine.
Legacy says lol, sorry for the obnoxious name.
It's totally cool. You were, she, if she was going why, then I would be like, oh, okay, dude, that's not okay. But it's perfectly fine. Now you can go in YouTube settings and change it, I believe. Okay, so there was a false breakout and back to 22. I'm still incredibly suspicious and strong uptick at 22. This is not right. It doesn't seem right. We could have made some okay profits if we had taken 4 tickers to the downside, but something seems wrong to me. I'm kind of wondering, maybe there's not actually a fundamental reason for them to
Winstanza
move
Mom
it.
says oh, thanks Ace Trades Legacy, no worries, it's a funny name, and I was also curious about how sexy robot voice would say your name.
Yeah, and she did say it differently, right? She just like held out the Y. Oh yay, Virus Performance has their new full gallery collection out. I'm excited. What do they got? Ooh, they've got a blood red. Ooh, oh yes. Bioceramic shorts. You guys probably don't care about fitness shorts. Busts and silhouettes. That's an emoticon that Alligator used in the Discord. I feel a strong desire right now to be in a position. I feel like, hey, there was some actionable signals in there, and I could have taken one of them and I could have made a little bit, and I would have been really happy about it. But it's just not quite right. It feels to me like they don't like they've already priced it
Winstanza Mom
in,
says
or they're
24
doing
watching
something
now,
fishy.
please hit like, and sexy robot voice will reward you with a purr of approval. Purr. Ace Trades says I think with AMP they don't have an inactivity fee, but like Seth said, if you don't make 20 trades a month, they charge you for the data, which is like $25 or so. So the $15 in free data are $40. Live Action
Yeah.
says running late, nice German open move again, wonder what happened.
There was
Harlequin
some
says
trade war
finally took the
news.
30 seconds to change my account name back to what it was 1 year ago. Still don't know why YouTube changed. By the way, are we below yesterday's low in ZN?
Is that what Legacy Harlequin now? Are we below yesterday's low in Zine? Yeah, I believe we are. Yeah, we are. Yes, well, I mean, yesterday's low was like 128.30 half, all right? But we're below weekly low. Now the issue here again is the downside target is going to be that 16. You can see it's like really sticking
Harlequin
out like
says,
a sore
haha,
thumb.
you will never know that. I am Kevin. Shit.
Oh, okay. Then we don't all have to use that. That's smart. Good choice. Good choice. Okay. Okay, Harlequin. We'll do that. So the downside is down there, okay? Now they've been selling it and they've been making new lows, but you notice this right here? New low, pulls back, new low, pulls back, new low, one tick less. Are they going to make another new low? It's too consistent. You get what I'm saying? It's too consistent, and there's been people buying. There's been fishy behavior on the moves down. I don't like it. You may actually be able to buy 2.5 here. Let's see if it gives us something. I'm starting to get a hint of something in the 10-year. Do I really want to buy 2.5? That's a real. I don't know, guys. It feels like a really risky trade to me. There are some asks stacking up above us too. That's a little odd. Weird colors. Oh, new singlets. I like it. I like the new singlets.
Ace Trade says 5 points on a rare long rule breaking trade for me.
Interesting. You caught that from like 12 to 16 or whatever? Well, it didn't exactly give me a long.
Ace Trade says 3,087 long.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I meant on an E-mini. That's right. Okay. Why is that? Because you've gone long before. How is that a break exactly from what you normally do? Or how was that? I don't know how to say it. How was that breaking the rules? Your rules. Ooh, they've got an all black singlet. I'm liking it. I think that everybody on my team is gonna.
Ace Trade says rule breaking. I didn't get a clear signal. Took it anyway.
I see.
Live Action says move last night was on Chin saying it will remove tariffs along with US.
Yes.
Ace Trade says rare. I don't often go long.
Something's up. And now 21 is bid. Well, this one comes in white too. Oh, well, it shows. And that one is looking like, well, I mean, it jumped up there, but that one is looking like either a new range or a false breakout too. So they're kind of chopping around a little bit here now. Isn't quite. You still on that long? They're buying that. They're buying the crap out of that. New high in ES. I wouldn't have minded taking a long in ES. I would feel much more confident about taking a long in the ES than a short in the treasuries. So there's an ask there. 21.5 they've stuck on. I don't know, guys. We're doing really good today, by the way. Thank you guys all for watching. Just want to, for those of you guys that are new, I would highly recommend subscribing and clicking the bell icon because we are live every day. And if you click the bell icon, you will get notifications about when we're live. So, if you want to come in and watch every day, that's really helpful. We also have a Discord and a Patreon page. So the Discord, it's just a completely open. In fact, the Discord existed before the channel, and
Ace
there is
Trade
some
says,
really
kids,
solid
hit
info
like
there.
and subscribe or I will rage quit.
I will rage quit. Yeah, the Discord, especially if you're new, has a lot of really good information, and you can go and ask about broker stuff in there. You will actually have the brokers are actually in that channel from time to time, like Patrick Rooney from Trading Technologies is in there all the time. For instance, if you ask about trading technologies, he will show up. So check out the Discord, and then if you're into cryptocurrency at all, on the Patreon, I post some cryptocurrency charts that have been extremely useful. I've made money on them, so you can check those out. And if you go to the Patreon, you can see the charts that I posted last week, so that you can see if it's actually worth it to you what we're posting. So that's all that. But mostly, I'm just glad to have you guys here. I really feel like I want to take a trade, but it just is not quite. Now this is a little weird.
Uzi Knesset says all this absorption is making me sleepy.
Well, it's ticking down there, but it's actually
Ace Trade says Warren Buffett hands out $100 bills to folks who like and subscribe periodically when he shows up.
When Warren Buffett shows up,
sellers
right.
are defending the RTH open hard. Winstanzamam says, and if you are new to Speculators' channel, do not adjust your volume or check your settings when you hear squeaks, squawks and his son Conyers. Seth is a day trading pirate at heart, not hook.
Now tell me, with this new microphone, the squawking should be a little bit better. In fact, yesterday when I was testing it, I had like the door open and the kids were screaming and the mic did not trigger at all. So the condenser mic definitely seems to have helped. I'm thinking maybe I need to go and get a super cardioid though. And we'll see. I don't know. It's really hard to get the microphone close, right? I might need to buy like a gooseneck or something. And then down again. But see, the activity, it's kind of weird because I'm getting low activity.
Harlequin says, what are the reasons stocks and bonds move in the same direction? Both ZN and Amini had a huge rally from the beginning of the year. The last week's CN is finally falling while S is still climbing. Ace Trade says the squawking has gone from wanting to shove a letter opener in my ears to not so bad anymore.
Okay, good. So when
Winstanzamam says, what's going on with your car? Speculator Seth, is he behaving or have you traded him in for something new or pre-owned?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me answer Harlequin's question first. So when the E-Mini...
Uzi Knesset says bids have cleared some room to the downside in ZB.
Yeah, okay. Let's see, they want me to FOMO in here again. I don't know if I want to take that. Okay, so when the E-Mini and the Treasuries are moving in the same direction, it is usually because equities are happy about the direction of monetary policy. So basically, the Federal Reserve is going to be easy, and stocks think that is really, really bullish for stocks and that it'll be a good environment for them. Or vice versa, the market thinks that the Federal Reserve is going to be hawkish, and stocks really don't like that they're going to be hawkish. And now I'm getting a spike in the 5-year. It's kind of weird because I'm getting like pretty low bars here on my histogram, but when I actually look at it, it is ticking around a lot. It's like the bigger players aren't there. Ace Trade says short 3092 signal. Okay. I'll take it. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the car. So I took the car to the car shop and they couldn't find anything wrong with it. And they said it must be in the early stages of your what do they call it? Your amp or whatever. The thing that recharges the battery, the alternator. The alternator is probably in the early stages of failing. And so I've kept driving it and haven't had any problems yet, but at some point I expect that it's going to abandon me on the road. Hopefully it makes it through the winter, so I can fix things up when it's warm. But whatever. Okay, well, they're just hanging out there in the E-mini, aren't they? Easy says, and they're back. Yeah, they came back up here. Well, did you see I was getting this right here in the 5-year? I said I am getting a signal, but I didn't take it over here because it's a chop zone. But then when they said they're short, that you got a short signal at 3092, I said, okay, I could try that one. That one makes sense. So let's see. There's a little bit of liquidity below us.
Uzi Knesset says it's just such a mess, lol.
Yeah, I don't like that right there. There's a chop zone down in here. Seems like something fishy is still going on though, doesn't it?
Winstanzamom says seen on Twitter, Donald Trump is holding his breath over the trade deals until Kentucky turned blue.
Right. Let's see if there's been any more. I don't really see any more news. It looks like that trade failed.
Ace Trade says sorry Seth, crap trade, it was a head fake.
Yeah, it was a head fake. You're right. It's okay. Well, I think that what happened, I think that it was a legit signal. It's just there's a little bit of liquidity below that 92 area, and they were just a little too hesitant to try and take it because it sat there at 3092 for a long time. And you see it's coming back here really easily. So I think that somebody decided it's sitting here too long. They took it, and they're already taking profits. Upside reaction to yen positive and yes negative is not that great, says Alligator. I do see the yen is moving up. Oh, that's curious. Let's just see what happens here. Look, it's coming back to my price. Look, it goes offer. A little bit more forcefully than it was before, in fact. Although it looks like there's still somebody willing to fight at 3092. Okay. It's also interesting that the micro and the mini don't seem to be in very agreed at the moment. It seems to me like the small traders are still trying to take it long. Well, it's a nice reverse spot in the ES's digital shot. Yes, it is. And everything else is telling me that it's turning. So we'll see if it goes. I mean, 20 half, if you could buy 20 half in the 10-year, that certainly seems like an okay price, but it's just, they've touched it now like what,
Ace
1,
Trade
2,
says
3,
and
4,
now
5
it goes
times?
short 3092.00 thanks Obama.
They've done it like 5 times. There's clearly some support there, but how long can that last, you know? Thanks, Obama. It's all Obama's fault. Oh, I totally forgot. There is... Oh, that's tomorrow. Consumer confidence is tomorrow. There's no more news today. What did Hunter Biden do for the money? Senator John Kerry, a very good question. He and Sleepy Joe must testify, says Donald Trump. just now. Sleepy Joe must testify. And it's funny he's still calling him Sleepy Joe. Huh? I would call him. I think that Quid Pro Quo Joe, or Quid Pro Joe is a way better nickname. But Donald's not on it. Okay, so the big order is at 30.91. Now they're hitting into it. We'll see how fast it goes. Nope, and somebody
Uzi
actually
Knesset
did
says I like
500
Cotton
more.
Eye Joe.
What? What is that from? I don't quite get that one. Look at this. As the E-mini is kind of flirting with pushing through 30.91, the treasuries are at the low at 20 again. And they're hitting down into it, and they sold 3,000
Uzi
absorbed.
Knesset says you don't remember when he popped an eye at the debates?
Oh,
Lol.
yes. Oh, yes. Okay.
Ace Trade says I'll be back.
I gotcha. Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, guys. In the treasuries, that is. Well, the yen turned a little bit there. European Commission warns of dire future unless Germany issues much more debt. Germany is so far adamant that this is not going to happen. Tweeting Trading Floor Audio. Well, they hit into it at the 91. It didn't they didn't do it forcefully.
Uzi Knesset says I'm surprised Jigsaw doesn't have a pen tool where you can highlight prices into price column. Seems like an easy thing to design.
Well, you can highlight stuff on.
Harlequin says I only know Cotton Eye Joe. Shit, now I can't forget the tune. It's so catchy.
You can color the alert column programmatically. There's like well, if you type something in, but if you do it like when I load the levels in, you can color them. So there's kind of kind of maybe that's something that they expand upon in the future. Look, there's a strong offer now at 20. I don't know, guys.
Uzi Knesset says yeah, I'm thinking in terms of solutions that don't require my DOM to be 14 inches wide, lol.
I gotcha. I feel like that my 10-year DOM is too wide. Because honestly, I don't use... I mean, look at all that space that I'm not using right now. I mean, there's stuff up here, but right now I'm not using it. Now, when I get into a position, then of course it uses it. But yeah, it's not my favorite. By the way, this is wrong. There we go. That's better. The behavior that we're seeing in treasuries, I don't quite understand. I am not seeing anything that's telling me to buy it. Well, there's some absorption, but I'm not sitting there going like, oh, this is a really, like, it's going to reverse hard here at 20. No, I keep thinking, you know what? This is a strong sell. And this guy seems to be able to just push it down at will. It looks like a short, but it looks sketchy at the same time. It's kind of weird because normally in this kind of a situation, it would be moving trending down and I would be saying, oh, this is a buy. And then you'd buy it and they'd wipe you out, you know? But it's not. And there is some big absorption down here. I don't know what's going on. Is there some news? They are acting like that something is hitting. But the E-mini kind of flickered around there, and now they take it offer again. Negative yielding debt is down to 12.5 trillion as French's 10-year turns positive. Curious. And then they never really got below our price, did they?
Winstanzamom says MarketWatch I am not sure this is pertinent but an analysis from CFRA offers some perspective. From the beginning of the year through late October, $121 billion had flowed into bond ETFs.
Yes. No, that's totally relevant. I mean, we moved up big, didn't we, this year in bonds? There's a big inflow into the bond market.
Winstanzamom says already beating the $101 billion they collected throughout all of 2018. Those inflows made up more than half of all money coming into ETFs this year.
Now there's a 67 at 18.5.
Winstanzamom says even though fixed income funds account for only a fraction of the $4 trillion ETF universe.
I don't know what to make of that. Clearly, though, the answer has been short. 22 would have been a great short. We might see a collision here. So he's stacking up on it. E-mini is actually relatively quiet today, it seems. Don't you think? There's an uptick in the 10-year. And a pretty strong bid at 18.5. Now he added 2,500 at 18.5. This is like yesterday, isn't it? In a way, it's like
says Amini is relative quite the whole week lol.
It has been relatively quiet the whole week. Yeah, I guess you're right. But this right here seems particularly quiet, don't you think? They're still trading decent volume, but it's not.
Harlequin says at least during the US hours.
It's not flickering a ton. Yeah, during the US. Yeah, good point. Good point. I don't know. It's this.
Winstanzamom says November 11th Monday is Veterans Day, I think.
It still just looks sketch and it still continues to go down in the 10-year. I don't know if this is ever going to turn. They may just be able to trend down to 16 for all I know. But there's something that's going on at 18.5. It looks like that the offer wants to force them into selling 18.5, but oh my gosh. Really? Okay. It's been a long time since I've seen one of those.
Live Action says yes Veterans Day Mon.
That
Uzi Knesset says BRB.
That's not right. That's not right. That doesn't make sense to me. Honestly. $13,000 offer, and they bid it up. So why would you be posting that much? And why would you be willing to buy through that much? And it went through quick. It's not right. I think if I wasn't already in this E-mini trade, I would be taking it along in 19. Sure. Now the E-mini is not necessarily going, but And that whole situation there was not right.
Harlequin says why not both? You are just in the micro, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could do both, or I could put one on sim, but then you start dividing your attention and stuff. I think it's better to just do one at a time. It looks like it was a good trade though. Hmm. When they ticked up there, the E-mini did tick down, but then it immediately pulled back 3 ticks. It's kind of weird how the ES does that. You make a step and then it'll completely pull back, and then maybe it can go lower. Look at the delta in the ES.
Harlequin says you can still close the micro and go in ZN if you like that trade more, winking face.
Yeah, I could do that. But I think that the trade in I really think in this situation it's a better trade in ES anyways, because the ES is kind of in a spot where I think they should turn and look at the cumulative delta in ES. And there's been some really strong trend in the E-mini, in the ZN, and it's kind of, I'm a little concerned about my ability to hold a spot in the 10-year, and I'm a little concerned that things might get crazy here. So if I reduce my risk by taking it in the micro, I think it's okay. But that is something is up. An interesting thing also was that there was the bid at 18.5, and when they did all of that volume at 19, it disappeared. So that guy, but 15,000, that's way too much to trade for a level break. That's way too much to trade for a level break, and you have to wonder, why is somebody willing to buy through an iceberg that big at that spot? You're going to buy into an iceberg and then immediately get creamed on the downside? You're not doing that unless you know something. And see if the Japanese yen decides to take another little step up, then maybe the treasuries could go up. Okay, so there was 1,000 traded there at 30.90.50. in the E-mini. I suppose it'd be an okay spot to reset things so that we get a little bit of a clearer picture of what was below. Okay. Now the 10-year is ticking down like they're going to go for the low again.
Luis Alarid says NYSE next holiday November 28th.
Still just doesn't look right to me. Melt up trader warns chasing stocks with this backdrop is madness. Yeah, people always say things. There's always the skeptics. I mean, I've been skeptical though, haven't I? And look, there's the uptick in the 10-year. So this area, I mean, I don't like this area, but I suppose if you had caught 19.
Live Action says I am short late CN from 200 target 140.
From 200? I don't know, man. I guess if you got 20, that's okay. But something's going on. It's kind of interesting there was all this action here, and now since then my bars have gotten really, really low again. Which means that they've just created a chop zone here. They're just trying to stir up liquidity for themselves. But then it ticks up, but they're not taking past 20. In this situation, maybe if I had gotten long 19, I would maybe just take 2 on it or something, and then wait and see if it chops around again, and maybe take it again, and or if it breaks out the top, then maybe try and get in or something. But this is exactly why I'm saying, like, it seems like it's a position in the E-mini is better, because what is going to move the Treasury? Like, honestly, I don't think there's any fundamental reason for the Treasury to move. The E-mini, though, is just in a key spot, and technicals and everything. The E-mini it looks like it's moving. So if the trade is buy ZN because the E-mini is going to move down, then you're better taking the E-mini trade in the E-mini instead of taking the E-mini trade in the 10-year. Makes sense? Look, now they moved it up to 19.5. Somebody knows something. I think somebody knows something. Now, this time that I'm saying I think somebody knows something, this is going to be the time where nothing happens, huh? But this is all incredibly suspicious. As money is essentially free for those who have money and creditworthiness, it is essentially unavailable to those who don't have money and creditworthiness, which contributes to the rising wealth opportunity and political gap, says Ray Dalio. It's curious to me because it seems to me that the majority of Americans are not using their debt for
Harlequin says
productive
Trump
purposes.
positioning himself lol.
Maybe.
Live Action says I wasn't crazy about the trade to begin with, now I really not fond of it but still holding.
That's the short from 20. Well, I mean, if it's kind of sitting there in your favor, it seems to me like that we got a good sell here in the E-mini, but they're just not like running for it. And I'm kind of sitting here thinking like there's going to be some news, but that might not happen. But look here, there was a big stack at 19.5. Look, he bought it. he absorbed it, and then they pushed through it. He ticked it back up.
Uzi Knesset says back. Live action says saw that.
It's fish. It's sketch. 19.5 goes offer again. E-mini pushing back up towards 2092. How long has this been? 25 minutes. Well, I definitely don't like that little bit of buying that we got there. And there's a sweep too. So when I start seeing sweeps, I start to get, I don't like those. Yeah. These clicks are happening on bids.
Duta Danut Petra says hello.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for joining this. Thank you for joining this stream. I know it's being kind of slow, guys. It's like, it's exciting, and yet it's moving like cold tar.
Ian Lynch says, what do you think long 128.75?
128.75. Where are you at?
Michael XC says, how do you spot icebergs in Jigsaw? Just absorption? Or is there an easier way? If I don't have charts up.
That's a good question. So if you have the Vista chart up, you'll get the bubbles. And those are like clear icebergs. But I'm usually just watching for when I see volume go through and the level 2 doesn't change at all. That's the big clue to me. Because you may be only 200 cells into it, right? But if I see 200 cells into it and it's 2100 that whole time and it doesn't change at all, then that's definitely an iceberg. Even though a very little amount, And then you know that the iceberg is coming before it prints 3,000, 5,000 or whatever, right? Well, okay, now E-mini is starting to do something. They're kind of jerking around.
Bladeaway Rotter says, if you're ever feeling like you're having a down day in the markets, just remember. There's actually people who believe Bitcoin is still going to go up by an exponent, lel.
By an exponent. Well, we have people come in almost every day that will say, hey, look, it's bullish, because they're testing me to see, okay, when I say something contrary, does he actually react to it? But I just really do not like the price action in Bitcoin right now. That just looks like you're going to lose money one way or another in Bitcoin. I get that. It's going offer and they're trading 18 now. Well, if I can just get that, I think that I would be happy. No. Well, I think part of the problem here in the 10-year may be that there's going to be a lot of profit taking here, right? There's going to be a lot of profit taking here. That doesn't mean that it's not going to go down. That's why we keep seeing this whole thing, right? Okay, that might be important. Let's see if they react to it. The E-mini is pushing back towards their highs, but like the traders are not buying it. I don't know what to say. Somebody's doing something weird in the treasuries. Well, like I said, that could be profit taking, but that's a lot. That is a lot. Especially after there was the 15K that traded at 19.5 and all that. Yeah, he wants my stop real bad, doesn't he? You can have it. It's fine. It's fine. Been in this long enough. It's time for it to die. So now I'm thinking back over here since that one didn't work out. It's not really giving me actionable short signals, is it? It's not really giving me actionable long signals either, though. When it's given me long signals, it's been in chop zones. Anyways, I'm glad that the changes that we've made on the stream has been helpful. I'm getting a lot of people in, and I'm really happy about it. You guys are so great. And honestly, if you didn't have you around, I probably would have done a bunch of dumb stuff today, huh? It's so much harder to control yourself when you don't have anybody to talk to. 5,000 at 18.5. See, I would love to short it, but man, it's just never given us a... Where could we have shorted it at? It was like 24. Well, that would have been an amazing short, but I would have had to have sat through a lot of pullbacks and stuff. I don't think that that's really my trade, is it? I think we still have to be a little suspicious, though. By the way, our robot is still working, right?
Kaka Silva says hi.
Hey, Kaka, there you are. I was wondering where you were. It's like, you know who we haven't seen today, Kaka? It's a lot of new names. So Ian Lynch, that's a new name. Oh, by the way, he said, what do you think about 128.75? I think you're
Ian
saying...
Lynch says any reason as to why the stacking and pulling columns are switched off on your ladders? They are fantastic when it comes to refining entries and exits, personally speaking, don't you agree? Live Action says G. Schmist 2 super easy grain trades short corn and wheat breaking yesterday lows, wasn't watching.
Interesting. You know what? You have an excellent point. And I think that the stacking and pulling columns are amazing. They absolutely are. So what I have, you can't see it over here because I just don't have enough room, and I put it behind my picture. But I have a little tape here that shows me when large bids are moved around. Notice that all of the clicking has been on the bid side lately. Look, that's all on bids. This is just really suspicious to me. So I kind of use that, and that does a really good job of alerting me to when there's big
Anthony
stacks
Monroe
and pulls.
says Wassup Seth winking face.
Hey Anthony, how's it going? Should have been here earlier. We had when our other Bitcoin guy was coming in, he said that he thought that it looked really bullish, but I'm still just kind of like, just looks too messy. But no, let me finish this thing. So with the stacking and pulling, that alerts me to big ones. And, I've gotten okay at being able to watch these and seeing that stuff has changed. Now I won't see that like 100 pulled here and there and all that. And I did kind of find that useful when I had those columns. But for the most part, it was just noise. And the problem was, I just didn't have enough room. Like I wanted to be able to show the micro future and trade the micro future. And I don't like how many columns I have on the micros, but what are you going to do? That's what you need. Maybe I don't actually need to see the volume in the micros, but I have it. But then it was like the picture too, because I wanted this to line up. So it's kind of like, could I add those columns back in, and would I like to do that? Yeah, but I also want to keep it aesthetically pleasing. I don't know. But it's all just like, yeah, they're nice to have, but I don't think that they're necessary. You know what I mean? I think especially when you're newer, they're really, really useful. But over time, you realize these first two are the ones that really matter, and you can just watch them and you can get a pretty good idea of what it's doing. Well, so let's see what Anthony's saying now.
Anthony Monroe says "What's up, Seth?" winking face. Anthony Monroe says a friend of mine went all in
Okay.
yesterday. Anthony Monroe says he was very bullish with BTC and few alts.
Okay. Well, I mean, my take on it right now is, I thought that there would be some sort of a buy move into about 10,000, maybe even 12,000 going into the end of the year, but it happened too quickly. I thought that this would be something that would maybe happen in December, and then we got it last week? And that move up was incredibly weird. And then there was this really big sell, and they said it was like a flash crash, but I'm like, is that really a flash crash when you guys moved up as far as you did just like last week? Anyways, and then you're getting these little mini crashes every 4 hours or whatever. It just does not look to me like a great scalping place. It looks like they're just trying to screw over little guys everywhere. Ian says great things.
Anthony Monroe says every first Wednesday of the month, we have a meetup in Paris.
Okay.
Anthony Monroe says agreed.
Yeah, so it's just that I certainly wouldn't want to be scalping Bitcoin right now. But I still admit that I think that they could pull out a bull run. I mean, if they're manipulating it, then of course they can do whatever they want. And if we're just trying to predict what one major player is going to do, then hey, I think that's as good of a thesis as any. But from the time frame that I trade, I think that it's still you got to stay out. It just becomes more and more clear to me that the price is being manipulated around. They're either going to do a big sell again to kind of try and load up again, or there's going to be more information is going to come out about what they're actually doing that spooks the market, And so I feel like you just certainly got to be at the very least cautious about it. Well, I really thought I was going to maybe take a trade there, but it's still just not acting quite right. Monero was the coin to have? Could be. Did you see my garlic coin? My garlic coin doubled yesterday. So now it's worth $30. I've been mining 2 years and it's worth $30. I love that thing. I think the community and messing around with it is really fun. But hey, you could have doubled your money, and hey, if a big whale decides to come in and bless us with a 10 times winner or something, hey, it could be great. It could be great. So check out the garlic coin if you're into the shit coins. Garlic coin is the shittiest of shit coins, and I love it. Well, you know what, guys? I think it's too close for me to take a trade. My short in the E-mini just never quite turned out. They did come back to 92. It's like they went out and stopped me out and then came back. They're like, well, there's nothing to do. At least we can go and grab some money from Seth. Yes, I checked your garlic coin. Thanks. Yeah. Well, man, I really should have just sold it somewhere, but where would it have, I keep looking at this and I go, okay, where would I have sold it? Because there's always 15,000 is when it's significant, right? Okay, so there's one that says buy. There's that one doesn't really count. Okay, maybe these ones. Those ones I think you have to be buying too. This one's buy. But see, they're not like strong buys. Maybe this one. We could have sold it at 24 potentially after the news.
Harlequin says, well, can Garlicoin stop global warming? If yes, count me in.
No. Well, the one for global warming. I tried to say it like you said it, but the Grotessel coin. Grotessel, is that the way? It's an algorithm that is lighter on the CPU, but still takes a long time, and so it's nicer to the environment. It's also a restricted coin, like there's not a lot. So that one's I have no idea how I failed global. Yeah. Anyways, there's doing something. I'm like, maybe it's time to go, because I can see some people, you're going like, it's like 8:30, it's time to go, right? And we're talking about cryptocurrencies, which a lot of guys don't care about cryptocurrencies, right? But it's giving me a signal now. Now the problem with this one is that I don't know what this one means. I think it's a reversal long, but I don't actually, because we came down and it's up one. I think it's a long. In fact, sure. Let's try it. Because it's kind of been slowed down in here. It could still be down. The pressure's still down, but they might have to pull back a little bit. So we might be able to grab a few. Curious stack buys at the zeros on CN. Like way down here? Or maybe way up here? No, I don't see that. Or maybe you mean ZP. So there is some weird stuff going on in ZP. Okay. So I don't like it when I see the level 2 pull in on the last one in line on executed trades. Sorry, which specific price are you talking about? You talking about 128.000? Digital short says that he's short from 19. Okay. Well, the level 2 is... I got filled, but the level 2 is being kind of finicky there. 24, 22, 031. Oh, right. Well, you get this thing where they'll take profits at like every 2 ticks. It's not uncommon to see, like, when you come into this Vista chart. No, you can't really see it today, but to see like these stripes things, like this. That's not uncommon. Okay, so there's a big offer in the 5-year. How long has that been there for? That just showed up. It just showed up. The E-mini, okay, 6J is pointing down. My price went bid. Oh wait, half is stacking? Clicks on asks. No. The 5-year is doing this thing, and it's like nothing's happening. I don't know if that means that he's going to pull or there's going to be a collision. It's starting to get awfully thick, isn't it? I pull at 19.5. The E-mini is just kind of like going nowhere. I kind of wonder, like, how long can the E-mini just kind of coast along here before they decide to do something like sell it. Okay, the 5-year did tick down. And it ticks back up. They tried to sell 1,000 into it, and it held. I guess the E-mini needs another China tweet. Yeah, it could be. I turned the robot off because he's about to hit the limit. So we'll just do that so that I don't have to worry about missing you. Okay. 5-year down again. And being finicky. They're not putting a whole lot on the offer, and he's not going for it, though. Yeah, the offers. I mean, this is really thick all of a sudden. You know, like it's a little weird to be seeing 3,000s on the inside, right? Wow. Well, they're trading a lot here too. Uptick. That was kind of a bizarre uptick. I took my eyes away from it for a second and it clicked back up really quickly. I think they're going to pressure this 8 3/4. I mean, it's probably really foolish, but if I had a ton of money, I would be like itching to try and buy into that guy. E-mini had a little bit of a sell there. Might have been why they bought it up. Maybe they want that big juicy order before they make a retracement. I don't know. Look, it ticked up, but the seller decided, nope, I'm not. I want it to go down more. So it's not like there's two sides. There's two sides to this. Okay. And then it flips. It's just kind of more sketchy action. It's kind of this stuff where an uptick or a downtick might not actually mean anything and is just intended to try and get you to buy and sell it. And there might even be some push and pull kind of reasoning behind some of this. See how quickly it flipped back over. The one time I'm doing good on ZN, Seth Riley, so in normal circumstances takes the other side. Yeah. Well, I don't really like the fact that I'm long, to be honest. It did give me a long, though. Well, I interpreted it as a long. Maybe I misinterpreted it. Hmm. I guess the guy who bought 14K must feel pretty bad. Right? Well, like I'm still wondering why would you do why was it just profit taking maybe? But I mean that's a lot to trade there. It's an unusual amount to trade in that location. Like if it was 3,000 I'd be like, "Hey, let's go lower." But 15,000, that ain't right. There shouldn't be that many people willing to trade at that spot. Uptick, click. And the click is an add-on bid at a little far away though. And the stack at 8.5 in the 5 years not terribly inspiring. And they stack more on the offer when they click down than when they tick up. And I'm getting some spikes. Oh, 8.25 is pulling. It's like alluring in fact, because there's no reason for that to pull like that. Now the E-mini did tick up. Profit taking maybe, but I have seen that before when the added lower end market finally went strongly in their direction, making more in an hour than some in a lifetime. I bet. I don't think I've ever seen like a quote unquote level break location that trade that much. Not on that side. I've seen in a level break location where they're moving down and 15K trades on a bid and then they go through them. Yeah. So that downtick, I think, kind of settles it. That while it's giving me now, it's really giving me like a reversal. Man. But the location that is doing it, they're likely to go and stop me out before they do it. Sucks. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. What the heck? I hate that sort of stuff. They're doing push and pull a lot. Level 2 is roughly equal. Okay, now it's not. Now that's 3,000. Oh, like they bought 2276 into 8 and it's not going? Well, that's... Damn it. Oh, good. There you going for the 16. Well, that's interesting. That they finally got me to buy it. There's so much volume, though. Well, I got a signal. No, it's fine. Certainly can't take it now because you're 1 tick away from the target. But why couldn't I have had a buy in any of these locations, huh? Even just like 2 ticks up would have been fine. That one never even went in my favor, did it? No, it did not. They're stacking though. I don't know if it's going to reverse, but they are clearly taking the profits here. I'm just kind of thinking back on the trade, and it's like, well, I didn't want to take a long. Well, then I saw a relatively good spot, and I took it, and I shouldn't have. And I shouldn't have let it go that far. 3. I could have gotten out at 1 or even break even. And now it's just like, you want to sell it more? I don't know. It just was not the smartest trade, was it? Even though it was like a legit signal. I'm noticing that I just have a much harder time making money when it's going down. It's like I don't want to sell it for some reason. What's with that? Hold on a second. Stickball says buy and ask questions later. Ace is still wondering who hit the dislike button. Well, look, I took a loser. It was a small loser, but it was not necessary. Now I just want to buy it again. I feel dumb. Air Cage's stock market up big today. New record. Enjoy. Yeah, well, it is. It is good. It's funny. I tried selling the E-mini, and it really looked like it was going to go my way, and then it never did anything. But it's really weird to me that we're getting so much liquidity here now. I'm not sure what to make of this. And the E-mini is not. I mean, they made new highs, but it's not. It's not moving. It's like they don't care. You know what I mean? It's just really slow. I don't think that they're going to be able to hold these prices for very long. I think there's going to need to be a pullback of some sort before people, because they're just the traders just don't seem to have confidence in it. See, that looks like a buy, and I'm getting the ticks and stuff. Like that's a buy. Okay, just says trading light. Yeah, that one I did take live, so I lost 3 today. And I made 3 yesterday, so I would like to take it again. I don't know. The thing that's frustrating to me in a spot like that is like I would have liked to have just sold it, because it was clearly sell. It was never showing me a spot where I thought that a sell would have been safe. And, because it would be like, hey, you really want to sell it now? Whoops. That sort of a thing, Now then we had this where you really could have just gone short around the 21.5 area. But he says feel free to go short 30.94. Well, I don't know. I think I'm done today. I really want to buy 16.5, but I'm done. It's fine. We took one. Friday, we'll get consumer sentiment, and next week we'll have more stuff to move. I just tuned in. Where did you go short? I went short. Where did I go short? I went short 7. No. That was the last bit. It was 18.5. I went short 18.5. Or sorry, I went long 18.5. So I got a little bit of a signal. It was this one right here. We had bound them out. We turned. It was started giving me a bit of a signal. Nope, it was wrong. Or a misread, I guess. Or not significant enough. Now you're getting a signal. They pushed it lower. Now you're getting another signal, and they're stopping at 16. I think that that's profit taking. I think that we might see a little bit of a... I think that we're going to go back to 19. This is what I think. I think I want to buy 16.5. Well, I'd like to see 16 clear first, but I think that they're going to buy it here, and then it's going to bounce back to 19. Is this still long, really? Well, it's too late to take a trade. So why not go long? Well, because I got to leave in 10 minutes anyways. And, I feel like that last trade was not good. I feel like I'm just I want to take it to make that back up. And I don't know if I'm getting that strong of a signal here. Look, okay, so they filled the guy at 16. Maybe now you could take it along at 16. I don't know. I haven't been posting very long notes on the Bitcoin stuff lately. I know, it feels bad, man. We were having fun today, and then I took a trade in. Now I feel sour. Eric A just says I'm piling on shorts with Bitcoin. Well, I really do feel like that they're too high, but I still think that these guys, they can just move it wherever they want, Look at them go. They're gonna keep going, huh? Well, I said I think they're gonna come back to 19. I think you're bailing on that one already, huh? And look at the way that the offer stacks. See, should we flip it? I could make it turn around for you guys if you want. Could sell into it at 15 and then it'll probably turn. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm so tempted. I just want to do something. I don't think that I want to do it because there's a real trade opportunity there. I think I just want to take a trade to make my money back. I think that's my problem. Shit. 47. E-mini is popping off. Did something happen? I could have sold that stack. That's interesting. Well, now they are at they're like beyond. They're beyond low now. Yeah. He's still stacking it. You gotta be kidding me, right? How much is this guy gonna sell? And look, they're 38 at 15 too. Something's I mean, we were saying something's up, but we were always assuming that it was going to be something bad was going to happen. But maybe there's some really good news out there lurking, you know? Well, they finally did something where maybe you have a spot. Hmm. I'm having real trouble here, guys. I don't want to walk away. I would definitely be thinking about taking a profit. If I had caught that move, I would be taking off at 13.5. Trump is pumping the market, go short ASAP. I don't know what's going on, dude. The thing is they seem to be really concerned about where the market is. The administration is, right? And yeah, they're totally wanting to make it go one way or another. Treasury's moving like this, though, is really surprising to me. I mean, I did say, hey, the target is 16, but look at how far they've gone past that now. And it's just been very difficult for me to find any kind of spot to take them, you know? Because these were good moves. Some of this was 10 and 10. It was like 20 that you could have caught potentially. And when I was just like not doing anything. Yeah, trend day for sure. For sure. Well, no, I don't think it's going to be a trend day. I still think it's going to double distribute somewhere, but maybe a 16. It's just when it's a trend day, I usually get really clear signals to just say, just go short as it's falling through. And I kind of feel like that when it was falling through, that it was kind of more trying to trick you into selling it so they could stop you out to the upside. I didn't really get the kind of spots that I like is the problem. I guess when it's a trend day, I do tend to not get the spots and I tend to get longs, but and this one right here, where it's like it's been down and it's dead and then you get a spike and then they go lower, that's kind of a situation I've never seen before. So, I don't know. I appreciate you guys, you listening to me, yeah, because I think that I'm going through like, yesterday I had way too much dopamine. And I think that I'm going through that. Like I want a winner, and now I'm trying to talk myself into, what's going on when the answer is I should have just gone short somewhere, Should have just clicked sell and hope it works. Like, look at that. It's just going. Who knows how far it goes.
Block buy.
Oh, really? No? Maybe? That was weird. I just clicked into that reflexively, but that was weird, guys. They're pushing down and the block buy pops up out of nowhere. That is new. I have never seen that. Hmm. A little nibbling there, and they weren't phased. Hmm. Fighting? Where was it at? I don't even see it anymore. It was a while ago. This is definitely somebody coming in quite aggressively here to buy it. Look at that. Seller's not willing to, is not ready to stop selling though, I guess. Mm. 5-year kind of being trading some crazy volume. Guys. I think I just hitched my wagon to the wrong horse again.
Block buy.
What? Somebody wants to buy it, but the seller does not give a fuck. This is a little wild. Oh, sorry, I moved it off of here a bit. Do you follow John Grady? Yeah, well, the John Grady is kind of the style of trading where I learned to trade like this. So I get that. I don't get what you're saying, JB, about that block buy was likely a stop getting broken. If it was a stop, you would be getting stopped out lower and you would be selling. Like what I just did there. Fuck. Stop me out and then they're going to go. I'm just pissed. Look at that. Shit. Look at my face, man. No, it won't let me do that. Okay. Should I try taking it again now? 3,000? What does that put me at? It's 9 o'clock. We're just gonna stop. They're really fighting this 12.5. No, somebody. I mean, that might have been somebody taking profits. Okay, like let's not. But still, that was some aggressive buying. I do think that I do think it's a buy, but it's time for me to go. So That sucks. I feel bad. I should feel bad. Made the wrong choice. But, you know, next, I don't know if I'll even trade tomorrow, but, you know, next week is another week. So it's okay. So I'll see you guys then. And in the meantime,